check the
Welcome
audio.
to the next bargain bin.
All right.
We're watching
Make
a
sure our
fucking
audio's all
banger
good again.
tonight.
All right, boys. We got the evil within.
The evil within.
The evil within.
Right? If
Damn.
you forgot, if you already forgot. So this movie has probably the craziest production story I've ever heard. So it's basically Andrew Getty, the director, is the grandson of a multi-billionaire oil tycoon, and he just wanted to make this movie. But while he was making the movie, he had a meth addiction that would create these crazy dreams. And during this production, he ended up dying. And this production took like about 12 years, right?
Yeah.
To make, and so pretty freaking wild. And you can kind of tell with how nuts this movie is.
Oh, that's dope. Nice.
This is us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way it starts is already like off to the wall.
Yeah, oh yeah. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Because what did it open up on? Because I remember the kid and his mom walking together.
In like that
And
desert
yeah, right.
area, yeah.
It almost looked like a carnival.
We gotta go. We gotta go on the haunted house ride.
Okay.
Right on the marquee.
It was
Over
crazy.
it.
It was like
The lighting
he
was not
edited
the
the
same.
shit out of that.
It's like a montage
It didn't
showing
seem
life.
like he got burned out after that. He was like, all right, I'm not gonna make the whole movie like crazy.
It was really creative. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, there's some effort being put into this. I mean, it's very rough, but it's like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
But try telling a friend of yours what happened in your dream the next day.
That was goofy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Only
well,
then
know,
will you finally
Slapping.
that was a one-piece
That was pretty
opening.
dope.
You can tell he had a lot of these visions like in his meth dreams, but he made it very well. Like he actually like put in the effort to create these creatures, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Now, the dialogue is
Script-wise,
awful.
Bad.
Yeah.
And acting.
The way,
Yeah.
like the way, like after that, like first dream sequence, and then it gets into like the real life, and you see like the main character Dennis.
Yeah, we
and
get
his
introduced to
brother,
Dennis,
and then
who's a whole
He's a whole bag of
whole
tricks.
bag of
Yeah.
tricks.
A whole ass character.
yeah.
First relief, then a sobering realization.
Is there narration the whole time? Like, I don't need him to narrate everything.
In a much warmer place.
Yeah, I get it. You're in a much
In a
warmer
much
place.
brighter
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, obviously.
With my brother and his girlfriend.
Yeah, I can pick
It's
up
a
on
visual
that.
medium.
Gonna have to get used to the way I speak out loud.
Yeah, right.
He just told you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna be fucking talking this whole time. Him and his brother are basically the only two characters, and his brother has a wife, or not a wife, but
Girlfriend.
girlfriend, and those are basically the three characters that you're following throughout the whole movie.
You get a few other characters like a doctor and a social worker and a police officer, a couple police officers.
Yeah.
And they have a pretty standout scene.
Retard stank.
That's my review.
Dude.
For the most part, it is just about Dennis and his struggle with his mental illness. I
And,
don't know what, but he is definitely
he's a
a
bit
Mentally
severe-
handicapped,
He's been on
right?
Surprise, Dennis.
It's a mirror.
Look good on the wall there between the windows. Yeah.
It's a
Where
weird.
am I supposed to put my habit trails?
My habit trails.
I just bring it into his room, and he's just like, I don't want this mirror in my room. Like,
As
he's got, like, a
anyone would
whole
be.
hamster maze in his
Right.
room. He loves He's got all these like hyper fixations
Yeah.
on things.
But his older brother brings the mirror into the room and explains that it's the perfect spot for
It is the perfect
it's
frame.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
it'll
fits the
grow on
house.
you.
It fits the house so well.
I know.
Ridiculous,
You
right?
could put it. It's a huge mansion. Why put it in there?
Right. In the beginning, I thought that, the brother acting that way was this Easter egg or sort of signal to the audience that he's going to be obsessed with the mirror as well. But no, it was just a very lazy way to get the mirror into the guy's room.
Look at the shape of this frame.
Yeah, it's a fine frame.
What's wrong with his family? Why did they give a shit so much about this mirror?
It matches the character of the house perfectly.
It's a perfect. He's like, it's a perfect mirror, Dennis. You don't get it. It belongs in this room.
He's selling it to him hard.
Right. And then after that, we just start to get these intercut scenes of Dennis talking to himself in the mirror at first, and his brother talking to the girlfriend.
Like
No, but
Gollum.
that's-
Like Gollum.
Yeah.
Like Gollum, yeah. I mean, no, I mean, to me, this movie is literally just the Green Goblin scene in the mirror from Spider-Man, just elongated to an hour and a half. Right. Because, I mean, the entire movie is just Dennis talking to himself.
Tonight's argument about Lydia's trying to convince John that you're the
Twist.
reason there's so much tension.
Why are they explaining the whole plot?
Yeah,
every
right.
line of dialogue.
But her will is
Right,
It
in
is
this
just him
mirror
talking to
that like he was so against having that mirror in his room in the first place, and I don't know why his brother said, like, let's put this mirror in here because like it's just a normal.
It's just
ass
like a
looking mirror.
means.
Well, yeah, no, I mean it's
almost
literally
like-
just a means
it's like,
to.
It's like
get
dream
in here.
logic. Like you have a dream, it's like, oh,
Uh-huh.
this person put this mirror in my. Like it's like
True,
if you
yeah,
thought
yeah.
about it as a dream and they like put it on as a
It would make
script,
sense.
He's like, it made sense. He's like, oh, my
Right.
brother put this mirror in my room. I didn't want to put it in my room.
Yeah.
But then you watch it as a movie and it's just
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
And
when
they keep bringing it up, like because
Yeah.
later, like
Well-
like they show his brother changing in his room, like in the mirror, and it's like, why are you changing in his room,
Yeah.
like with that mirror? Like, it's just
Right.
they just keep bringing up this mirror, and it's like there has to be something important about
Yeah.
this specific mirror.
Well, there is, but I thought they're trying to get the importance of his brother in the mirror, and that never came up.
No.
You know, the mirror is important. I mean, that's the whole crux of the movie. It's the gateway to hell, to this
Right.
demon that Dennis is afflicted with, and that's most of the movie. But you know, for the first time Dennis talks to the mirror, it's just him talking to the mirror,
Yeah.
and it goes on way too long, and it's just trying to be this acting showcase of how great this guy can act with himself, you know, while also trying to play a mentally handicapped person.
Right,
You know, it's
right.
this doubling down of all these different hurdles that an actor has to go through, and
Everybody
this guy
kills
does not
little
pull it
boys and
off.
girls, and they're all disappointed in you because you haven't done it. Go out and kill a kid.
It's so funny. It's like they talk so much, but it always ends up just becoming just so dumbed down lines.
Right.
I'm just like, that could have just been the only line. Just
Yeah.
walk up to the mirror and go kill a kid. That's all,
That's all
we
you need to know.
Yeah, right.
Demon gets Dennis to like commit the evil crimes.
Oh,
It's
it's the
just so-
worst. It's the
it's
worst
such a bad
excuse and
development,
motivation.
yeah.
It's just it'll make you smart. You know.
Yeah.
You
You
can
know.
be really smart if you kill some
Right.
animal.
I know he's always grueling and so sad and messed up about it, but he still does it.
Yeah,
He
right.
still ends up killing them all.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
And almost every single one is done off screen, so it's like you never see him
Yeah,
like
you rarely
struggle
see,
with it
yeah,
or
some
anything.
Some gore. Even
No.
like
The
Final
part that
one.
pissed me off was when he was about to kill the cat, and they showed like the big ass scissors about to like clench down on it, and then it just cut to black. Yeah, and it's like shows the body.
It shows like the 10 cats in the fridge.
Yeah,
That was
right.
yeah.
What's he gonna do? Just choke it?
No, he's gonna stab it or cut it. Oh my god, he's gonna. Ah, boo!
What is that
Oh.
supposed to be?
Is that a dog?
What is that up?
That's the cat.
It looks like a different.
It looks
Looks
like
like
a
a dog in
giant.
there,
Yeah, it
too.
looks
What
like.
looked like a deer?
And
know.
it was so annoying having all of those scenes of him going down this dark path that this demon's taking him on. To have it then be intercut with the most boring date scenes and dinner scenes with
Yeah.
his brother and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
'Cause that's
talk
all they-
about,
that's
talk
all
about,
he did.
Talk about going nowhere. It really did
Uh-huh.
feel like The Room, having Mark just talk to Lisa and Johnny constantly, just
Well,
bringing the story
And it's
down.
so contradictory to like his whole sob story. What's his name? The brother's
I don't even
name?
know.
I don't remember
the
the
brother's
name.
name.
Yeah.
It's so contradictory because his whole thing is that he won't marry this girl that he's been on and off about
It's a random
because
B-plot.
he has to take care of his brother. Yet the whole time that throughout the movie, he's not taking care of him.
Yeah.
And he's in his convertible.
Right, right.
Just
He's
going
taking her
there,
to
his
dinners.
BMW.
Yeah, he's going to coffee. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
Exactly.
that about?
Right. He's busy complaining about the thing he's not doing.
Right.
Like his brother tells him, he's like, you can't come into this room for a week. And he's like, okay. Something smells dead, but okay.
Right. Yeah, and he
trust
finds 4 VHSs of like taxidermy, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, they were Criterion.
Criterion collection.
4K.
Yeah.
It was a box set, guys.
They got in my bag by mistake.
You know, Dennis, I might believe that if there was one cassette on one topic, maybe 2, but not 4.
Yeah, I know. Good point. Okay, this guy is making some sense now.
Yeah, Dennis, get 2. You didn't need all 4.
I know.
Yeah, you could have gotten away with it.
Talk about the strangest, most jarring scene of this, I'm guessing, librarian that had mixed up the books that Dennis had with some other random guy that bought books named Chuck. I don't know who the hell Chuck is.
No, yeah, they threw in those characters at the very end.
Felt like
no
total
reason,
padding
right?
just to get some more boring exposition down. You know, it's every scene, every dialogue was just more backstory, more explanation about why people felt the way they did.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and like scenes would just come out of nowhere, like the scene with the social worker, like they just introduced a social worker. Yeah, Mindy.
Mildy, something
Mildy.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, they
She comes
introduced
in-
a social worker, and it's like out of nowhere, and like she talks to the brother, and is like, we might have to take away Dennis, and then
We have to prove that you can handle him.
Right, and
I
then
love
she
all
walks
those
away.
Hard,
Yeah.
and then he
Might
just
as well
put
get
it-
to the
Yeah.
get to the
Throws down the
Big
steps.
thing,
Yeah, well, yeah, they basically win their third like date together, the brother and his girlfriend.
a pretty normal
Our time-
date,
yeah.
along with as we get a cut of we get intercut with Dennis losing his mind, killing another victim, going through this insane serial killer, blood trip.
Right, but
Let's
as
cut back
they're
to the-
intercutting,
not that scene, not that plot. We're cutting back to the boring dinner scene. at the
Right,
restaurant
yeah, we don't need to talk about the interesting,
That serves
slightly interesting stuff. They basically put out a big twist that Dennis actually wasn't born mentally handicapped. His brother just punched him really, really
When
hard.
they were young.
Yeah, when they were young, and
Couldn't read.
yeah, he couldn't read very well, and
You know.
It was a really
it's like what a
good
great
punch.
twist. Yeah, what a great
He
twist.
was really
really
proud of that
knocked
punch.
What was it again? It was a good punch.
Yeah, he just said it was a good punch.
What happened?
I don't remember all of it. I was 8 when he was 6, and we got into a fight. And I punched him. Good punch, knockout punch right to the jaw.
It was a good punch.
This is a fucking good one.
And he went.
That's kind of weird, yeah. I had a good swing.
It was
you
a
know?
fucking great
Can't lie.
swing. I knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, he was just a prick the entire time.
Oh yeah.
You never. I mean, he's the character that you have to. That they set up and build this entire arc with, apparently.
Yeah.
What seemed like an arc, the husk of an arc, of what was like some like redemption of him, learning to love his brother, like a Rain Man arc,
Yeah.
Right,
But it
yeah.
never
There's
did
no
anything.
arc.
There was no arc. It was just
Oh,
a B
no.
plot to
Yeah,
pad out
it's
the
like-
rest of it because they couldn't shoot Dennis in a mirror for an hour and a half.
Right. I'm trying to think like what is connecting these scenes that we're talking about to the final part, and it's like there's really not. Like
No.
it's just they have a couple scenes where they do the same thing over and over. And like Dennis is talking to himself, they're having a date,
Right.
and then it eventually just culminates
Yeah.
into this crazy ass ending.
Yeah.
This is an absolute
It's a
drug
very
trip.
repetitive movie.
Yeah.
And Dennis just
Though the end was pretty crazy. It was pretty
It was
cool.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
I know, but even if it was cool, it's like, what was the point?
No,
Because it's
no
like
point.
every time Dennis talks, it seems like he's just, going on and on, ranting and raving about, like the sickness and, the societal problems about, people with mental illness and why he's angry at the world.
You
and-
can't take those 50-cent words.
They're discussing big ideas with big 50-cent words in them.
That's the thing. The demon, all you gotta do is kill a few people and you'll be
And
smart.
then your nightmares will be fine.
Right.
I just want to bring this up. I know we said this before, but this is one of the worst written movies I've ever heard in my life. But surprisingly good production value in some parts.
Yeah.
There were parts where it's just like you're literally just shooting in your house. But
well, like you said, though, I mean, it was funded by Getty, and with that kind of funding, they were able to use a giant mansion.
His mansion.
Yeah, dude was loaded.
Shot on it. Location.
So I mean, the settings were fine. There was a very intricate, you know.
I wonder the restaurants. They go to the 2 same restaurants too. It's like imagine he owned those.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, let's just shoot.
It felt very small scale, like The Room, but still had like such crazy editing styles, and like
Ew.
Oh, this is cool.
It's a restaurant.
Ew. What the fuck is that?
I love this place.
It's Long John. It's Long John.
She's the comedian.
It's
Long John
Slivers.
Rockstar and Spike TV's.
Slapjack's restaurant, dude.
God.
Dude, that's scary, actually.
Oh my god.
That's the mascot for Long John Silver's if they actually like represented the chain.
This dude would fucking scare me and shit.
Right.
You also get the reveal too that the evil Dennis trapped.
Yeah, he took over for him at one point.
Yeah.
And he put him back in. To the reality,
I feel like he was just
I guess.
turning more into the demon.
I don't know.
Yeah, evil Dennis.
See, for a movie
evil
that
Dennis
explains a lot. It didn't explain.
It didn't
Right.
explain
It's
that
like, we
part
don't
too
explain
much.
this.
Yeah,
But-
there's a part where evil Dennis switched places with regular Dennis.
With the good Dennis.
Yeah.
But it's like, what? Why though?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what was the demon's reason for doing that? He
Because
just wants to live
regular
his
Dennis
life.
is already doing bad stuff, and then now it's the evil Dennis.
I know, it's ridiculous. You know, it's like evil Dennis the whole time was like trying to be his like coach on life and trying to, you know, trick him into thinking that this is the way to become smart. But if he was just going to trick him into pushing him into a mirror the entire time, why didn't he do that in the beginning?
Right.
Yeah.
He could have in the first scene just been like, "Hey Dennis,
Right.
want some ice cream?"
Yeah, that would've been better.
And just push him in there.
Even close. This isn't helping me.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
Nice.
Here we go.
Sleeping at night.
Oh my
I'm the one who whispers in your ear.
Oh my god, this is even worse.
The stories I tell.
Like when he's just
That's
an actor.
cringe.
It's
Yeah,
just a
right.
little darker over here.
I'm
It's
just a little bit
darker.
In conclusion, everybody shows up to the house and all gets murdered by
Dennis.
Dennis, pretty much.
No, I mean
Yeah.
that's the thing. Dennis doesn't
Yeah.
learn anything. He just, you know, throughout the movie kills all the people that the demon wants him to
Yeah.
kill.
He just
The big-
starts
It's just
kind
like
of turning into the demon more.
they
and
turn
more.
all the
Yeah.
victims into like puppets or whatever. It's
Uh-huh.
like for what? Just for like, ooh, that's cool.
Right, right.
And
It's
then
like all the
just like-
previous characters that you saw like were turned into puppets,
And then he's put
and
in
then the
mental
brother has
asylum.
to watch it. And then it does like this weird ass ending where all the monsters that he created started eating him, but as it's panning away from it, it goes through the mirror, and it shows some cops arresting him and taking him to a mental asylum, and it's just like,
Well, it's revealing that whole sequence with him on stage with all the creatures
Right.
that he's made, that was all a dream.
right.
Was it a dream?
But
Brother
was he
killing
doing
himself
all that
or-
on the stage with like cops?
Huh?
No.
No, I mean we don't
When did it start? You know,
we
when
don't
did
get
it-
that information. All we
Right.
know is that
I feel like that
the
happened
kid
at
in real
some
life,
point.
you
I
know.
feel like his brother killed himself, and then that was just sort of like he was like, what if we transition from the monsters eating him to it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
Some things
It's
in
just another
movies are just
excuse, yeah.
excuses to make like a cool.
I mean that's the
No, I
that-
think
yeah.
there was no thought in
Point.
it whatsoever.
Joey, you found this, right?
I think
Yeah,
I
I
think
found
Joey
this
found
movie.
no, I think Joey found the evil within himself.
Himself. Yeah.
When I purchased this movie,
This just goes to show you that if you're a creator and an auteur and you have a vision for a project and it only takes 22 years to get made and you die in the process of making it, it could quite possibly become a really shitty dramatic horror movie like this.
yeah.
It's UK.
That no one saw. I bet no one's seen this movie.